Winter blues and seasonal affective disorder, they're real and they affect people of all ages. Do you know the signs or the steps to take if you or a loved one may be experiencing one of these? To talk about that and more with us today is Dr. Benjamin Crawford with Cone Health Behavioral Health Services. All right, so let's just kind of go over it. Like, what are the signs that someone might be experiencing more than just the post-holiday letdown?
Well, first off, thanks for having me. And it's like you said, so a lot of people have winter blues. As many as 10 to 20% of all Americans feel a little more down in the winter months than they otherwise would. But for other people, the days get shorter, the nights get longer, and they start to feel sad, and that sort of sticks around. And they have a harder time getting back to normal. So essentially, if you've been feeling down or depressed for 2 weeks or more, and it starts to affect your broader life, so getting up in the morning, functioning at work or school, if it interferes with time spent with your family or friends, that sort of tips us off a little more to something that we call seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah, this is a little more than I really just wish I didn't have to go to work today. This is like really having a hard time prying yourself out of the house to get there or to go to school. Are the signs the same, different for children versus adults?
Absolutely. So for adults, you might feel more down or depressed. You might have more, difficulty enjoying things that you used to previously enjoy. You might have low energy, difficulty concentrating. There are very, typical signs of depression in adults. In kids, it can be a little more tricky. So kids might feel more irritable. It may be, that they're more cranky, that they have more trouble in school with their grades. They may isolate and keep to themselves more. So those are some things to look out for.
Okay. All right. So if someone is experiencing these kinds of signs, maybe we recognize them in ourselves, maybe we recognize them in one of our loved ones. What should they do? What should we do? What kind of steps do we need to take?
Absolutely. So the first thing, if you suspect that you yourself might have some of this, the first thing to do is to just take a self-inventory, take a step back. Am I feeling down or depressed? Do I have low energy? Am I having trouble enjoying things I used to enjoy? Does this happen every year where around the winter months, things just get a little harder? If that's true, or, you speak to your family member and that's true for them, there's a number of things that you can do by yourself. So free, easy, cheap exercise, for basically anytime you're feeling down or depressed, seasonal affective disorder or not, getting out there, being active really does help. Getting normal hours of sleep, restful sleep. Now, for seasonal affective disorder, specifically, there's something called light therapy. So one of the reasons that we think that seasonal affective disorder works like the way it does is you're just not getting as much light as you typically do. And that can affect some of the neurotransmitters in your brain. That can affect your level of vitamin D. So the way that you help with that is by getting more light, going outside more during the day, taking walks if you can. They also have these things called SAD lamps, which you can buy for approximately $30 to $40 on Amazon. And what you'll do is you'll set those up pretty early in the morning, just while you eat breakfast, while you do some work, and just have that on sort of near you about 2 feet away. They recommend, I think, 10,000 lux is what they call it. And that can help as well. Further, you can also get on, if you consult with a provider, and we really recommend that you consult with a doctor before you initiate it, especially in people who have bipolar disorder. Definitely speak with a doctor before starting light therapy. But medications work as well. If you're doing all these things and you still need to see somebody, then that's absolutely a-okay.
I guess I was going to ask too, I love all the different things that you can do to kind of get yourself jump started, right? Things that any of us can do. But if we feel that we or a loved one needs to talk to a professional, what are the options like? What are the gateways to do that?
Absolutely. So, I'm speaking on behalf of Cone Health here. So I guess, we have in-office and virtual appointments available. Sometimes this can progress to the point where you start having thoughts, sort of like scarier thoughts of not wanting to wake up in the morning, to the point where, there's some suicidality involved, where if you believe that it's reached that point, then it's certainly my recommendation that you call 988, which is the National Mental Health and Suicide Hotline, and they'll get you set up with local resources. Also you can reach out to your local emergency department. You can head there. And for Guilford County residents, there's something called the Guilford County Behavioral Health Urgent Care on 931 3rd Street in Greensboro. If you are a resident of Guilford County, you can come there and see somebody 24/7 who can evaluate you and sort of get the next steps kind of rolling from there.
Okay, so being able to talk to a professional, and if you don't have that someone there, maybe the 988, because that is something any of us can do, calling from our phone to see what other resources are out there. All right, we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to continue to talk about the winter blues and how you can combat them and how you should help you and your family members as well. That's coming up in the next couple minutes.